This next point, number 7 on respecting information, might be one of the reasons that you want to consider having some training programs associated with using social media. Every business, regardless of what you do, has information that is confidential and proprietary. And often when we work around it every single day, we forget what's confidential and proprietary. We're used to talking with our colleagues in the office, whether it's about a client situation or a customer problem. And we want to make sure to heighten the awareness of employees about what's confidential, what's proprietary, and what can and cannot be shared in a public forum. Something to consider as you're putting together your social media strategy: how will you communicate that to other people, and how will you let them know what is considered to be confidential and proprietary for your business and not something that should be shared out there. And I'll give you a couple of examples that might help you in your conversations. If you're a business that cannot do certain transactions over the internet. So for example, I know that it would be difficult, for example, to fix someone's car over the internet. Your goal or strategy might not be to actually have a conversation with someone over social media, but to really have a strategy to say, we want to encourage people to pick up the phone and call because we can deal with them voice to voice versus dealing with them in writing. Or we need to get them to a dealership so that they can get their car fixed, but we can't really do that over the internet. So if you have a business like that where you really are limited in the number of transactions you can have over the internet, but you can have more interaction, whether it's voice to voice or in person, then figure out how you make your strategy such that you train employees to be respectful and get people to the place where they can get their problems resolved. The second way is to figure out if there's a way to identify confidential and proprietary information immediately around your office so that individuals know, I cannot discuss this matter on social media. I can discuss it in the office, though. Another story. I spoke to a CEO at one point in time who went on a client call, and while they were on the client call, they had some employees with them, and after the client call was done, the meeting went very well, and an employee sent out a message saying, we just met with XYZ company, had a really great call, I know we're going to get the contract. Well, the problem with that was they hadn't gotten the contract, and they needed to make sure that it didn't. Now, of course, they've broadcasted all over the place. So the CEO actually had to call the company and profusely apologize. Luckily, it didn't hurt the relationship between the company and this potential client, but it prompted the CEO to say, how do I make sure in the future that people don't make that particular mistake? So what they did is whenever they have conversations, they had a stamp in the office that was they would stamp documents with that would tell people, yes, you can talk about this, or no, you can't talk about this. And it was an immediate flag for people to understand what was considered to be confidential and proprietary in their business. On the next slide, this is also a great opportunity when we're talking about respecting information to talk about attribution. It's important when you think about training employees or sharing with employees social media that employees have an understanding about what is trademarked and copyrighted information. And YouTube being one of the, I think it's the second largest search engine in the world. YouTube, people want to share videos all the time, or people want to share images all the time that they see on the internet. It's really important that employees give proper attribution to wherever they are getting this information from, whatever source they're getting this information from. And this is another topic that you might want to consider, how you're going to build this into your policy and how you're going to train employees to give proper attribution where it is necessary. Same thing with quotes. I can't tell you how many times I have seen a quote that is not given proper attribution to the person who said it. And these are all things that we like to put out there to get people engaged and involved, but we need to make sure that we do it the right way.